Courtney here with Courtney's Customs, and today I am super excited to be showing you guys the xTool M1 laser engraving machine and cutting machine in one. This thing is sleek, it is beautiful, it does such cool things, just all the things are so cool. I have been playing around with it for a few days now. I feel like I can tell you enough confidently to make this video and show you guys a little bit of how it works. I did not film the unboxing because it is pretty heavy for me anyway, so I had my husband unbox it, set it up for me, but I did film the process of getting it hooked up, which is just a really super simple exhaust pipe that you hook up, run somewhere outdoors. I had my husband cut a small hole in the back of my shed for me and patch it up, and it's good. But I did want to show you really quickly before I move on that inside the box it has like a little thank you note, which I thought was really nice. Of course, a user manual, and if you get a premium material package, it also comes with a book of what every single material is and what settings to cut it on. So that is super helpful as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive in and get started.
There's a ton of stuff, even a cute little tote bag, but I mean there's different pieces of wood, stainless steel, there's some leather, there's some vinyl, like there's all kinds of stuff in here. I very highly recommend adding that to your cart as well, so you have a lot of projects to work with. So now I'm going to hook up the exhaust pipe. It's just this little piece here and some screws, and it's super easy. You just screw it onto the back of the machine there, and that's what it looks like. So now let's put the exhaust pipe on. It comes with like this little metal ring, and you just squeeze it to open it up and put it on the exhaust pipe, and that's what holds it on really sturdy. So now my husband is doing his best to kind of put it on upside down because he was leaning like over the machine to try to get it on there for me. But after a few seconds, he just got it right on there, used that little metal ring, made sure it was nice and tight, and I was ready to go.
Alright, so this is what it looks like all set up. It is just a very nice, like clean, sleek looking machine. Back here is the exhaust pipe, which is ran out there. It came with, of course, your basic cords to, you know, plug it into your wall. You plug one side into the machine. The other side, there's like a little block here, and then I have it plugged in to my wall right there. So very simple. When it comes to setting it up, all you do is attach the exhaust pipe and plug in the cords. So when you open the top of the machine here, this is a special color glass, so whenever you are working with the machine, when the laser is going, you can look directly into the machine and kind of like see a little bit of what's going on, and this is going to be protective for your eyes. So obviously you cannot look directly at the laser, it is damaging to your eyes, and I've also read that it's damaging to your camera as well, so I'm definitely not going to be like sticking my camera in here while it's working to show you guys, but this is going to be like a safety thing for your eyes. Now in here there is a little blade, so like I said, this is also a cutting machine. This is magnetic, so you do not have to pull it very hard, but just like a Silhouette or a Cricut, there is a little blade that you just push this little button down right here, stick the blade in, let it go, and then like I said, it's magnetic, so I just kind of like feel around for the little spot. And it goes right back in there. Also inside this machine there is a camera, so whenever you place your item here that you want to engrave and you shut the lid, when you go over to the design studio of xTool, you can get an overview of your material that you put in here. It's really cool, so you can get like a little bird's eye view of what you're doing, so you can like properly place your decal or your image or whatever you're wanting to engrave. Back here is the on switch. I'm going to go ahead and get the machine turned on. You'll hear it kickstart. And then a little light right there is flashing to let you know that the machine is on and ready to go. So now let's head on over to the design studio and make a project. Okay, so this is the xTool Creative Space, which for us Tumblr creators is like our Cricut Design Space or our Silhouette Studio. So this is the inside of the machine that I was showing you earlier. So there's a camera pointing down, and this is exactly what I'm seeing. I don't have anything in there yet. So just a little bit about the xTool Creative Space. It's very, very simple. You can add text, you can add images that you get from Creative Fabrica or wherever you get your images. You can add shapes. It is very, very, very similar to the Cricut Design Space or the Silhouette Studio that we are already very familiar with. So now I'm going to go ahead and lift up the lid on the xTool, and I'm going to place in the little necklace that came with the material set, and I'm going to engrave something on that. And then once I close the lid, the Creative Space will kind of do a very quick refresh, and you can see right here where I added the necklace. So I'm just going to do something very, very simple. I'm going to add my wedding anniversary date. So I'm going to come over here and hit text, tap on the screen, and come over here to the text box and just put 3.3.18. I got married on March 3rd, 2018. Now I'm going to come over here and pick a pretty font. I'm not going to do anything too crazy, just something cute, but there's tons of fonts already on here. That one is cute, so I'm going to just make it as small as I need it to, and then place it onto the necklace. And wherever you place it onto the necklace or whatever you're engraving, that's where it's going to be. So you get like a really easy customizable view, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I actually went in there and moved the necklace because I got to keep in mind that I need to try to keep it straight. So another thing that I think is really cool about this is if you're working with something this tiny, you can tap on the decal that you're wanting to apply. And instead of trying to move it with a mouse, you can actually hit the arrows on your keyboard, and it just very, very slightly nudges it over so you can get it exactly where you want it. So this is actually really, really tiny, so it's a little more difficult, but I'm just doing the best that I can here. And now I'm going to keep it at laser flat, and I'm going to go over to material, and I am searching for what this material is, which is a stainless steel necklace. And then that's automatically going to put it at the thickness and pretty much like the pressure of the laser that it needs to be. So I'm just moving that up a little bit more, and I think that's going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and hit process, come up here and hit start, and wait. Now before it can start, I need to come over here and hit this little button. And now it's ready to work. And you can see like a little bar loading right there, letting me know how far along it is. And it tells you exactly how long it's taking. So this is only going to take about 25 seconds or so. And now it's done. I'm going to wait until the machine gets quiet, which it just did. So now I'm going to open the lid. And there we have it. Now be super, super careful, especially with the stainless steel metal projects, because I mean, it just got hit with a laser, so it is hot. So just be super, super careful and mindful of that. But it did turn out very, very cute. Now what I'm going to do is go in with a paper towel and just kind of clean it up a little bit, because it's got kind of like the burn marks, I guess is the correct term for it. And then after wiping it down with a paper towel, I don't know if you can tell, but you can kind of see like the brown, like burntness that I wiped off of it. But it turned out absolutely adorable. I love it. And then the first time I was playing around with this, the very first project that I made was a dog tag for my puppy Scout, and it turned out very, very cute as well. Again, took about 25 seconds. I feel like the stainless steel projects take a lot less time than the wood projects. So let's go ahead and move on to the wood projects so I can show you what I'm talking about there. Alright, so now I have placed this piece of plywood that also came with the premium material package. I placed it down into the xTool, and I am going to go over here to Image and go to my downloads, go to this image that I found on Creative Fabrica. And it's going to bring it right in here, and then you can just drag the corners, make it as big or as small as you want. And try to like follow the grid and make sure that you are not placing it like crooked. So I'm actually going to come up here and see that it looks pretty straight actually. I tried to place the board in like as straight as I could. So I'm actually going to add text to right here. I'm again going to add my anniversary because I think that would be a cute little touch. And I'm just going to put it right there. I'm actually going to change the font. And then something really cool is that you can change like the color of how dark it's going to burn into the wood. So say this was like a really, really dark piece of wood. I would want to pretty much remove all of the grayscale and make it burn like really, really light. But I want obviously to be able to see it. So I'm going to turn up that grayscale a bit. And then I'm going to come over here to material. I'm going to go to the 3mm plywood. And then I'm going to hit process, and it will give me an estimated time of how long this is going to take. Now remember, I did say that the wood projects take a good bit longer, so this is estimating about 40 minutes. So I will go ahead and get that started. So what I'm going to do is hit start, and then I'll have to hit the button on the machine again and let it get to work. So you can kind of hear that working over to the side. It is pretty quiet. To me, it just kind of sounds like a fan, so I wouldn't care to work in here on other things while that is running. So while that is working, I'll show you the final result of that at the end, but I'm going to kind of just go over some of the safety tips that you can read here in the xTool user manual. This seems like a really thick, like a lot of pages. There's like 30 some pages. A lot of it is in other languages, so really in English, there's probably like 6 or 7 pages that you really need to read. So a lot of it really is just talking about don't leave the machine alone while it's working. So like, I know this is going to take about 40 minutes, but I shouldn't go inside and eat dinner or something while this is working. You want to always be with your machine while it's working, just in case, heaven forbid, something happens, then you can be there to hopefully tame the situation. So of course also it says things like don't keep the machine around things like acetone or rubbing alcohol, things that us as tumbler makers keep in our workspace. So make sure that you just kind of clear your area, make sure it's on a nice level surface away from any sort of flammables or anything that could possibly explode while it's near a laser. And while it's working on the wood right now, I can very, very, very faintly smell just kind of like a burnt wood smell. It's nothing overwhelming. I really have to like pay attention and kind of search for it, but it is there. So just make sure that you are aware of that. And maintenance of the machine as well. You are going to need to clean it. If you're going to use it every day, I would definitely clean it every day. Really, I think you should clean it after each use. So it really doesn't take anything crazy. You're going to have some kind of like residue in the machine from the work that it's done. So take like a baby wipe or even just like a damp cloth or something and wipe it down. Obviously, you don't want to spray any like alcohol or anything like that into the machine to clean it, but I would definitely
and then these little
just wipe it
accessories
down
here,
with,
these are
like I said, a
triangular
damp
prisms.
cloth or a
You
baby
can
wipe would
put
do
these down in the
fine.
machine before you
Alright,
place
so
a piece of wood on
this is the
top of
finished
it.
result of
And it
that
kind of like
project,
lifts it
and
up
it's
a little bit
absolutely
if you
adorable.
want to create a project where you need the xTool to cut completely through the piece of wood to create like shapes or whatever. So you just place your piece of wood on top of it and it acts as like a riser so it can cut through.
So obviously there is a lot more that you can make with this machine. It can engrave and cut a lot of different things. It is also a cutting machine like a Silhouette or a Cricut as well.
So this is a light grip
I'm going to go ahead and play around with those settings a little bit and not do anything too crazy, just show you guys how it can also cut some vinyl.
This is because unlike a Silhouette or a Cricut, there's no rollers to help hold the mat down while it's working. So the adhesive side on the back sticks to the bottom of that machine really, really well, so it doesn't move. And now I'm going in with this really, really pretty light purple heat transfer vinyl that came with the materials package, and I'm going to place that face down right on the top of the mat. And I'm going to take my little squeegee and just squeegee out any bubbles or wrinkles or anything like that. And once I'm sure that everything is on there good and proper, I'm going to close the lid and head over to my laptop. Okay, so now you can see a view of what's inside of the machine. I'm just going to do something super simple. I'm going to go over here to Shapes and select a heart. And I'm not really sure exactly how big I want to make it. I'm just making it a pretty decent size. And then I'm going to come over here to the settings on the right here. And I want to make sure that this selection here is not on laser like it was earlier. I want to make sure that it is on blade cut. And then I'm going to go to my materials and select the right material, which is the HTV vinyl. I'm going to hit process and hit the button on the machine, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, so now just like any other HTV, I'm just going to weed this out with my weeding pick. So I'm going to pull up a corner here and just start pulling. And this is tough, just like any other HTV. It's just really, really tough to pull off of that sticky side here. Alright, so now since this is so small, it's going to be something that I can just use like my iron or something to put on the little tote bag that also came with the materials. So later on today, I will absolutely do that. Okay, so now that I've made something with wood, stainless steel, and I cut out some vinyl, let me go ahead and just tell you guys what I do like about the xTool, and then I'll tell you what I don't like about it. Things that I do like about it, of course, it is very easy to use. It is very user-friendly. Now, this can also engrave on tumblers as well. I did try that process. I'm not fully comfortable enough to say that I know enough about it to tell you guys, but there are tons of YouTube videos that you can watch that explain it a lot better than I currently can. I just don't want to try to throw some information at you guys without fully knowing what I'm talking about. So I am going to link some YouTube videos down below that you can look at to kind of get like a better idea of how that works. But I mean, it is super, super easy to use. All you do is you put the material in the machine, you shut the lid, you put your design on just like you would with like a Silhouette Studio or a Cricut design space. And I mean, pick what material that you're laser engraving or cutting or whatever, and just let it go. So it is very, very easy. There's so many things that you can do with it. Like, the possibilities are truly endless. And I can't wait to play around with it a little more and practice and make something a little more advanced. It is also very, very easy to clean. Like I said, you want to clean it pretty much after every day that you use it. So, I mean, just wiping it down on the inside, wiping it down, making sure there's no like dust or debris from cutting like wood, and making sure that everything is nice and clean. Super, super easy. The one and only thing that I do not like about the xTool M1 is the time that it takes to make projects. Like this that I made in here a couple of days ago. It took like an hour to cut this, or not to cut it, but to engrave it. If you're wanting to mass produce some items, it is going to take a very long time, because that took an hour. Now, laser engraving like the little necklace that I made, and then I made this little dog tag for my dog Scout, that took like seconds. seconds to make. Now, if it was something much bigger, I'm not sure how long that would take. The videos that I've watched on engraving tumblers took about 45 minutes to an hour depending on the design. So, I mean, it takes a really, really long time to make projects. That is what I have found to be the only downfall. I'm going to have a link down in the description for you guys to check out the xTool M1 and anything else that the website has to offer that you want to check out. But right now the xTool M1 is on sale, $400 off the original price, so make sure you go check that out if you think this is something that you would be interested in to try out for yourself. Like I said, overall, I really, really do like the machine. I'm very excited to learn more and make some more advanced stuff. It's a learning curve just like any other new machine. You got to take some time and practice and gradually make some more advanced items, but as of right now, the few things that I've made, I really truly do enjoy it. And before I go, like always, I do have y'all's cup of positivity for the day, and today's quote is, "The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra." I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know y'all have been waiting on it for a while ever since I announced that I had the machine. I'm sorry I've been moving a little slow lately ever since I got sick at the beginning, well, right before the beginning of January, so I am sorry. I do finally have this video out. Like I said, it is $400 off the original price, so make sure you use my link down in the description. And I just wanted to be completely honest about this review. So, like I said, overall, I really, really like it. The only thing I didn't like was the time that it took to make certain projects. So, if you have any questions, I will do my absolute best to answer them. Make sure you comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Be kind, love one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!